Hello and welcome to Taekwondo Training. I'll be your host for today's show, Bob Lemire. Joining me on today's show, I got two tremendous athletes. And I'm not going to talk too much. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We're going to get right into the show. It goes by fast this half hour. Wayne Grenier, welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thank you.
And Dylan Stelly, welcome to the show,
Thank you.
Dylan. I'm going to let Wayne go first, just tell you a little about himself, and then we're going to get going. What do you got to say there, buddy?
Yes, I work at a golf course in New Hampshire. I've been there for 13 years. I started powerlifting 7 years ago, and I'm a four-time world champion, and I hold an American record in the deadlift, and I love doing it. It's great exercise, and it's a lot of fun.
And how old are you again?
73.
73 young. 73 young.
Yes.
Just a little, Dylan, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm from Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii. Came out here to visit Wayne. I'm an avid sports player. I play multiple sports. I do a lot of surfing. I do golf. I do soccer. You name it, I probably played it.
Yeah. And just sad situation. He lost everything in that fire in Maui.
I did, yeah.
He has a GoFundMe page that you put together.
Yes.
Can we just announce that now? How would they get to the GoFundMe page?
We could probably, it's gonna be on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube.
We can add it to the description down below.
We probably can.
Okay,
I'll
do that.
Yeah, we'll work on that, okay?
I'll announce it on the podcast.
We'll announce it. After this, we got a podcast going. We're going right to the podcast booth for an hour. So we're going to talk a lot in length about the fire and the sports and stuff. So if you want to watch any of these, this Taekwondo show or the podcast, just Taekwondo Grandmaster Bob Lemire. All right, type that in, Google, YouTube, and you'll see all my shows. All right, so what we're going to do today on today's show, seeing that we have a variety of sports, all right, powerlifting and golf and surfing and soccer, there's no way to do any sport unless you have total balance and perfect stances and looseness to your body and the hip movement. We're going to go over a couple of the sports, and we're going to show you, I got some props here, golf clubs and stuff, how everything is similar. All right, what I'm going to do is start first with Wayne. All right, and just with, we're going to use this as a prop, saying this is 780 pounds. All right. So, Wayne, what kind of stance do you get in for, say?
For example, deadlift. Kind of a wider stance, not quite sumo, but a wider stance. You have to have good form to lift the weights. Usually, we go over under, we lift up. We go to the bar, we lift up straight, and then shoulders back, full control of the weight, can't wobble, and knees are locked, and that makes a good lift. But you have to have good form, you have to have good feet, good legs, so when you do go down, you're in full control of the weight. We're talking a lot of weight. My American record is 346 pounds. I made that 3 months ago, and so that's a lot of weight.
At 73.
At 73. Exactly.
Wow.
Now, notice the stance. This is in Taekwondo. This is a horse riding stance. We practice a lot of punches, and so kids can understand a good balance. We have a natural stance also, which is a little closer. So a horse riding stance is a little wider, knees bent, and kind of a natural stance is a little closer. All right, just for quick movement, because from here you can't move from side to side as much. From here you can. Same thing with golf. I'm going to let Dylan show us with a golf swing, and watch his stance. Just explain your stance as you're getting ready to swing.
So now for golf, it really depends on the type of club I use. This here I have a driver, so my driver stance is going to be a little wider, pretty wide. Therefore, I give myself a nice strong base and a good foundation at the bottom, and then from there, just a nice simple little back. Make sure I don't hit anyone.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not going to.
So we just come back here. I get to the top. I'm rotating my hips. And then when I start my downswing, I really fire my left foot or my left hip. And then I just generate all my power and then through like that. So like a full swing probably be more like this. Like that.
He's young.
He's young. I got half that speed on my swing now. Yeah, so notice watch him as he's going to lift. Me, I'm going to be in a horse riding stance, and he's going to be in a golf stance. All right, look at how similar. All right, could be a little shorter, could be a little longer, depending on the person. Every person's got a different view, but almost identical. And that's all sports. I mean, if you're playing baseball, what are you doing when you're on the shortstop? Where are you? You're like this, right? You're not hanging around. You're ready. And this is where gravity, right? This is where gravity. When you're playing baseball,
Yeah.
is it baseball or softball?
Baseball,
softball,
soccer.
What kind of stance do you usually get into?
So typically for that one, I like, one of the big things that when I was growing up and being taught was your prep.
Right.
So like right before the pitcher's about to end the windup, he's starting to kick that leg up.
Right.
We get down, boom, boom, 1, 2, we're ready to go. We're prepped and ready to go. And we're ready to go on the balls of our feet, therefore we could move to any direction that we have to go when the ball comes our way.
And when you get in these positions, even when he's going to lift, you have to be as loose as you could possibly be.
Absolutely.
If you're tight, you can't play baseball or golf. How do you play golf tight? You can't.
No.
And I mean, a new person, that's what they have to learn. You got to relax and let the club and let your body go through the whole motion.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what another lift that you might have? Would you change any of your stances?
I would, for a squat, I have a narrower stance because sumo is just too hard on me to do it, so I
too
just
much
bring
of
it
the
in a little bit.
Okay.
But you still have to have good balance. Balance is key. Bend your knees and squat. Have to go past parallel and come back up for a squat to be a good squat. And if you don't go down low enough, it doesn't count.
And what are we talking for weights?
200, 225, 245.
me and Dylan going, wow, that's so much. I mean, I'd go down and probably stay down.
The beauty of more weight that you put on your shoulder is getting down is not the problem.
Get back up.
Getting back up is the problem.
And the knees don't strain. They don't strain.
No. A lot of people have braces on their knees, and my trainer told me, you know what, you're not going to wear braces. Let's strengthen your knees so you don't need to wear braces.
Maybe someday if you...
I don't see that. I don't see that. No.
You've done two. He's done his third show on the podcast. This will be the third show. Okay. Second show on this, and people just love it because you're an inspiration. Well, it's an inspiration, especially your past. All right.
Being a cancer survivor, 10 years as of December 5th. Actually, no, 10 years. I just made it. January 29th. It's a milestone. It's a milestone. But being sick and not feeling sorry for yourself and move forward, I think that's the key.
You never lifted a day in your life before?
Absolutely. Jim? The only thing I knew was a Jim was somebody's first name.
At 62? At 62, 63?
63.
63, you started powerlifting?
No, I started just
Rehab.
lifting weights. No, just lifting weights.
Lifting weights, okay.
And then when I was 65, I did my first powerlifting tournament.
2 years.
And I was great. I said, I can't do this. And then I did, and I got addicted to it. I've been in 31 competitions, 4-time world champion. It's great.
And you're still going strong.
I'm not done yet.
I text him all the time. He goes, there's room for improvement.
There's room for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There's room for improvement.
Now, soccer. Mm-hmm. And you're a soccer coach with, who do you coach?
So I'm a soccer referee.
Soccer referee.
Soccer referee, yep. I traveled to just about every island in Hawaii. I refed games across all different age groups, from all the way from the youth keiki all the way up to high school, college, adults.
Yeah.
Did it all.
You've played your whole life. You have to,
Oh yeah,
to have the
I've been
knowledge.
playing since I was 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I started at 3.
You have to have the knowledge. You're still playing?
I play pickup every
Okay.
now and then, but I don't play like leagues or anything like that anymore.
Right.
No.
Why is that?
This game just got really too quick for me.
Really?
Yeah, the speed of the game is just
you
incredible
have
now.
to train. You have to train. You can't just go out there and run around like a maniac.
Oh, no.
Same thing with yourself. You can't. If you think, I'll just pick up the weights and that'll be it once a year. You
No,
can't do
you
that.
can't do that.
That's how you get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And never mind that. You have to stretch. You used to do a lot of stretching before.
Not as much as my trainer tells me to do.
He wants you to warm up.
He
and
wants
loosen
me to
up.
stretch every day.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to stretch
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Not before I train with him, but he wants me to stretch every day.
Right.
Later on in the day, just pick a time and do it.
And he's got certain stretches, and I'll bet you we all do the same stretches. I mean, you can only do so much stretches, but
Exactly.
there's different stretches.
Yeah.
When you, soccer, right, so now you're a rep at soccer. What's the stance that these people, all kids, and I never played really, I played a little soccer when I was a kid, but never organized or anything. It was football and baseball. So soccer is kind of different for me. So what do you tell you know, what kind of stance are you in as you're getting ready to play the soccer?
Well, I mean, you're basically...
You're not in this stance.
No, you're not this stance, you're not
more-
wide. You're just playing pretty normal. You're going around pretty normal.
Right.
Now, of course, whenever you're defending a player, like example, if you have the ball right here,
Right.
I'm breaking down like this, and I'm going to try to force you to go one way. For example, I'm going to try to get right here, and I'm going to force you to go towards the touch line and not towards my goal.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a
Right.
simple defender stance right here.
Whether they're righty or lefty.
Yeah. And then vice versa, if you're going this way, let's say the touch line is back here,
Right.
then I get on this side. I'll try to have my back towards goal, therefore I'm forcing you to go that way.
Do you ever, say in Taekwondo, we kind of practice a lot in Lemire, China. Just do you kind of do a lot of workouts like that? What's a good workout to make sure that you're in a, because you got to keep that balance.
Yeah.
And be loose at the same time.
I mean, simple cone drills, like just what I usually do, I take, let's say, 5 little plastic cones and just line them up in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll just like do quick feet around them, like a ladder, basically like a training ladder.
Right.
You know, just simple little, quick feet like this,
Right,
going
right.
across like that. Or you could do 1, 2, 1, 2, just working on quick feet. Because at the
Okay.
end of the day, soccer, it's a speed and
Right.
agility game. So that's super important is speed and agility.
Yeah, and that's only practice,
Yeah.
constant practice.
Constant practice.
Every day, being loose, being healthy. You got to keep yourself healthy. And the drills that they give you.
Yeah.
Now, when you, so you're in this kind of stance soccer, all right? You're waiting, and then somebody move, that makes
Yeah,
a
you're
move.
waiting for
You
the attacker to make their move
Right.
and stuff, and then as soon as they make their move, that's when you could try to probably stick your leg in there or try to get around them to defend them off and get the ball from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you're doing your power lift, either one of them, where are your eyes focused? What's focusing? You're not looking down, right?
I'm not looking down,
You
and
never
I
look
don't
down.
look at the audience. I look above the audience.
So you're looking up.
I'm looking up above
Okay.
because that keeps me better balanced. If I don't look down, obviously that's not good balance.
Right.
I don't look this way here, I look up, and it makes it a lot easier because I focus on not the people that are cheering, above the
Above
people.
them.
Yeah,
They don't exist.
They
Not
they
once you get
can't.
going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can hear them shout your name, but
you
that's
can't.
fine. But just
Right.
ignore that. You're just trying to have the best lift possible.
You can't.
And squat is important, and deadlift. Bench press is a little different. You're back to the people, and so when you bench press, you're going back to the people. You go down on the bench, and the weights. So the audience is behind you.
That's
so
good.
bench press is a lot different.
Like, yeah, right.
Lot
But
different.
anything that you have to do, picking and whatever, everything's a focus up there. Now, a lot of people, anybody's focus straight?
No, they always.
Everybody-
Well, no, they don't. They look above the people.
They look above the people. That's like a standard type of thing. Yeah.
Another thing about the bench press, which I learned a long time ago, is you need to have good stance with your feet. Granted, you're sitting on a bench.
Right.
You're laying on a bench.
Right.
You still need to have good form with your feet.
With your feet, yeah.
Your feet
Who
still
knows?
need to be
Planted.
on the floor, planted on the floor, and you still have to have good balance.
Right.
Even though it's a bench press,
Who would think, right?
you still need good balance.
You know, most people who just watch bench press say, don't even think, where are the feet? Like, oh, you're going to
No.
pick up your feet, and you
No,
can't.
that's just it. In competition, the feet always need to be on the floor.
That's the rule.
That is a rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would happen if the feet were up?
You-
Advantage?
the-
Or you'd kill
well,
yourself?
the lift doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
So that's
But, I mean, why wouldn't it count? Just because you
because
have to,
you have an advantage
if you lift your feet up?
if you lift your feet up.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people try to put their feet on the bench. Of course, it's not the way the lift is supposed to be.
Right.
Lift needs to be on the floor, on the ground.
Right,
Yep.
yeah. Who would think, that kind, and like, when you're, we'll say, well, we know baseball or softball.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be concentrating on that ball, you're gonna get nailed.
Exactly.
So you're constantly in tune of where that ball is. But now soccer,
Mm-hmm.
you can't look, you really can't look at the ball because this guy's gonna flatten you. So where's your whole outlook and your whole eye.
So you're talking about someone with
So
possession of the ball?
someone's coming up with the ball, or you have the ball. Say you have the ball and you're kicking.
So if I have the ball, I'm typically looking at the defender, and I'm going to try to figure out which direction he's kind of leaning more
As
towards.
you're kicking this ball.
Yeah, as
so
I'm
you're
kicking
not
the ball.
looking at the ball.
No, you're not looking at the ball.
Can't see it at all with
Nope.
peripheral vision?
Nope. You can't.
know where it
comes with
is.
practice. It comes with practice. You just know where it's at.
Because I'd be like this trying to keep the ball going.
It's pretty similar to a basketball player dribbling a basketball.
Yeah, I guess.
Constantly have their eyes up. They're scanning the field.
yeah.
Same thing with a soccer player.
Right.
We have our ball at our feet. We're constantly just scanning the field, seeing what lanes are
You don't
open.
even see that ball.
Don't need to.
Wow.
Because we know it's
I
at our
don't think I
feet.
could kick the ball without looking at it.
Me too.
Wow, I'd be tripping all over it. Well, that's something. So the funny thing is, and here we go. Taekwondo, all right? If I'm sparring you, if we're sparring, I'm here. I got to look at your eyes. And if I look at your eyes, I see your feet. It's that peripheral vision even down. The minute I go like this, I'm going to get clocked. You know what I'm saying? You can't fight and you can't look down. You've got to look exactly in a certain spot. All sports are the same.
Yeah.
Like you say, basketball. That was a good analogy with the soccer. Because who would think, you know? Because when I dribble a ball, I'm like, I gotta know where it is, you know? Yeah, that's a good analogy. So, say your coach is teaching you different moves going back and forth. What's for balance? What's he saying to keep your good balance and keep balance against the other guy? What kind of moves?
I mean, just a simple.
They don't have certain stance, so move your feet so that
Not
you move. That just
necessarily.
comes naturally.
Yeah, it just comes
from playing
naturally
a
as
lot.
you're playing the ball.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like as you're dribbling the ball around and stuff. I mean, you could probably do like a step over and stuff.
Right.
There's moves that you could use to get around your defender.
See, the
And-
thing is, you've been playing for so many years.
Yeah.
It's just in here.
Yeah.
You know, since 3 years old, it's just embedded in your head, and you're saying, well, it comes naturally. Well, it don't for a guy like me who never played. I'd be fumbling around, and you'd be running by me because I'd be looking at the ball, and yeah, that's just experience.
Exactly.
You know, and the same with yourself. You see a new guy coming in, and I think we talked about this. A new guy coming in, you can spot a new guy, and he's trying, and you're going, he's not standing right. You can tell, right?
Yeah, he's going to hurt himself.
You can tell he's going to hurt
Yeah,
himself.
he's going to hurt himself
And
if he doesn't stand right. Yeah.
Where's his coach? Oh, he just.
Coaches come with you. One time, my trainer came with me to a competition, and I was so nervous about him being there that I didn't do well at all.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
I just didn't do well at all. So
Because you thought of him more than anything,
I
right?
did. I wanted to impress him.
Yeah, and you can't.
No,
You
no.
gotta be relaxed.
Exactly.
You got to be loose. Yeah.
Absolutely loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I know it's camaraderie in all sports. It's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
I mean, it just
We
makes you.
root for everybody.
You're right. So do you tell them after? When you see them doing something wrong, what do you say? You gotta. Like, what would be a stance that a newbie would do that you'd go?
He probably would be. Well, I saw one guy. He went too sumo, too wide.
Too wide, right?
Too wide a stance, and his feet weren't out. When you do sumo, you can't be your feet like this. Sumo, you have
Why
to.
is that with the feet? I noticed
It's just better balance.
better balance this way.
Better balance this way here.
Okay.
And so I've tried wider stance for my deadlift, and it's working pretty well. And wider stance for my deadlift, which would help me a great deal.
Yeah.
Because if I'm standing up like this here, I've got to go lower. If I'm a wider stance, I don't have to go as low because I'm already lower by me having a wider stance.
Right. But you're in now your muscles are in a different angle,
Correct.
and that would make it harder because
It
in
puts
a
a
way-
lot more pressure.
a lot more pressure on the knees.
Oh, absolutely. On the knees, you have to have good knees to do any
Right.
of this. The quads, it puts so much pressure on the quads. So if you really train your quads and you do a more sumo stance, it's an easier lift for you
Right.
if you train your quads
Right,
and
right.
make them strong.
Right. Because I remember we did talk about that, watching a new guy, and you're going, woo, uh-oh.
Yeah.
When you, and it's the same with golf. With golf, right?
We're all golfers, aren't we?
I think, I think I'm fairly good, but I'm not. You can see a new person coming in, they're way off. And if they're not going to use their hip, now when you're doing soccer, as I say, I don't know too much about soccer. Do they tell you to get a good kick, you're using your hip with it?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
People think they're just kicking, and they're kicking with their leg only.
no, like for example, like how are you going to try to send the ball in the direction that you want to go? It's typically your plant foot. Wherever your plant foot's pointing, that's typically where the ball is going to go. So like if that's the ball right here, this little white spot, my plant foot, if I want to hit this TV or the camera straight ahead, then I know when I make that contact with the ball, it's going to go directly that way and stuff.
And there's a hip?
Yeah, there's a hip.
There's
So
a
like when you
hole.
come in, boom,
Yeah, see how
making
he-
that contact right there.
So he didn't just kick the ball, he come in and it's a snap.
Yeah.
Same as we're gonna throw a baseball, you're gonna throw a baseball, you're snapping. Football, you're snapping. Golfing, you're snapping.
It gives you more power, doesn't it?
More power. And it's almost like a chain reaction, like I call it a whip. Because you're bringing the power from here, your hip, and you're bringing it all the way up your body. Instead of just,
Right.
I hate doing this on the show, because if someone's not, if I do this, right, or I do this to show what happened, people that aren't listening going, look, he don't even know how to swing a club. You know what I'm saying? Because this move right here, you see it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And it's all just, people have to know it's just practice. It's practice daily.
Absolutely.
And if you want to put 1 hour, you're going to get 1 hour's worth it. You want to put 15 minutes, but at least do something. I say always do something anyway. Do you guys do a prep? And I know you do a lot of stretching, but any other, with your powerlifting, do you do a lot of just
Absolutely.
light weights just
Light-
to keep up the muscle tone?
We were just talking about that, light weights for sure when I train, but as I'm getting closer to a powerlifting tournament or
Right.
competition,
Right.
then I start doing the heavier weights.
Right.
But I do light weights for repetition, for form.
And to
Form
keep-
is just keep myself limber, of course.
Right, right.
And as you get older, that's a little
It's-
more of a challenge.
right.
But that's what you need to do.
Right.
Stretch all the time and do lighter weights during your training. And then as you get closer to a competition, then you start doing the heavier weights. And the heavier weights make it easier for you to do them because you've done the lighter weights
And you
beforehand.
in form, you're
And
doing it with
form
form.
is-
With the form.
Form is so
Yeah.
huge.
So even when you're doing your light weights, you're doing
The
form.
form has to be the same. Has to
Right.
be the same.
Right. And it's the same with your soccer. So you do soccer, you do softball, you surf, golf. Well,
Tennis.
Tennis.
Tennis? You
Yep.
playing tennis?
Pickleball. Tennis/pickleball. Yeah.
Pickleball's a new thing.
Yeah, I love it. It's going to be one of the fastest growing sports in the world.
Oh, it's growing. It's
for
going
sure.
up the mountains, and everyone wants to. I don't think I've ever played once yet.
I can't tell you how many courts have just completely blown up in Hawaii since it all started.
We have 5 minutes left, and before we leave, we're going to go do a podcast again. I already told you how to get to the thing. The GoFundMe. Can you just? I know we're going to try to put it at the bottom of.
Yeah.
But how can they, if they want to do a GoFundMe for you and they want to send you something?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I know the GoFundMe, it's with me, my girlfriend, and my old roommate, Juan Chappie. We lived in a home together, and unfortunately it was lost on August 8th due to the Lahaina fire. And luckily we were all able to get out. Unfortunately, just about all of our stuff is gone. As many other families and stuff.
How can they get to the GoFundMe? Is this something you can?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
it's HTTP?
it's going to have to just be on the.
Scroll,
yeah, it's
yeah.
a link. It's a website.
It's a whole website.
Yeah.
But
You
there's
just
no-
go in there, and it's a simple process. If you want to donate, feel free to donate. You can also share it too. So probably share this clip. You could share it and then
Right.
get it spread it out to other people.
They can't just look up you on Facebook, Dylan, Stella.
My Instagram, Stelly_Dylan will be my Instagram handle. As soon as my account is open and public, so feel free to go on there. I have the link already in my bio, so you just simply tap the link, and boom, it'll take you right to my GoFundMe page.
Perfect.
You know, one thing about Americans, and that's a story, and he's got a story. That's beautiful stories of resilience. To be an American, but we're resilient, and we help each other. That's one thing about, and no matter what kind of political party you are, and I know we're in strife right now, once the S hits the fan, once things happen, and we got to get together, we always do as Americans. We always have, and that's why we're the greatest country in the world. So to help each other, and that's what we should do, help each other in time of need, and that is the tragedy story. But now, how's it look? Are they going to be able to build up, or they're breaking everything down and insurances?
It's going to be a long, dreadful process. That's maybe a great story to get into on the podcast.
Yeah, we're going to do that in the podcast. I just want people who don't watch the podcast to know how to get to you.
Yeah, for sure.
And,
Thank you.
And that's about all we have for here. I appreciate you guys again. See how fast that half hour goes?
It is.
We do 5 hours in this show.
Like that.
Once again, Wayne, well, how can they, if they want to know about Wayne, all right? Facebook?
Facebook, absolutely, Facebook.
Yeah, Wayne Grenier, you'll see your picture, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Grenier, G-R-E-N-I-E.
I think you'll see me with a gold medal around my neck.
There you go.
There you go.
That's Wayne. If you want, and if you want to message him or anything, you find out about his life and stuff. And he's right now assistant general manager up at Indian Mound Golf Course, greatest golf course in all New Hampshire. Anyone who want to go up there, food's great.
Food's great, absolutely.
I love it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, we have a podcast right after that, so if you want to hear us, we'll be talking for an hour. A lot of the same stuff, but we're going to get deep into it. I hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, have fun and train hard.